Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Readings and Healings with Monica Dina Hupperts. I am Monica Dina Hupperts of Whole Heart Energy Healing. I am excited to be with you today because a couple of really interesting things have been happening to me over the last little while, and I am looking forward to sharing that information with you. So first of all, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving to all my friends in the United States. It is really a big deal. I was watching today the Macy parade that was going on. It was a 3-hour event. I don't remember the Santa Claus parade here at Edmonton ever being a 3-hour event. Mind you, it's a lot colder here than it is there. However, I am blown away. The beautiful floats that they had, and they had wonderful bands and singing. It was just wonderful. It was their 95th one. So hi, Mel. So I plan on my sister and I going there to New York in 5 years from now and see their 100th celebration for the Macy's Day Parade. I think that, I mean, if this was the 95th and it was as fabulous as it was, then I would like to be in that position to be able to go down there at that time. The one that I love the most, aside from Santa Claus, of course, and he had a beautiful float with the reindeer that were moving. They were gorgeous. And he was so full of life and happy and dancing around. And oh, it was just lovely to see, instead of, just waving as he goes on by. But there was this neat little character called Tiptoe. And what he was, America overdoes everything, says Mel. Yeah, they do, but this was a sight to see. I gotta tell you, it was amazing. There was this balloon kind of animal, and the way that this reindeer, it was a young reindeer, was moved. He wasn't just a balloon in the sky. He was a balloon that was on the ground. And if you've ever seen the Lion King live productions on stage, you might be familiar with how people are manipulating the legs and the heads and so on to make the puppets come to life. Well, this reindeer was bent over and he had his nose very near the ground, and children were petting him. And I was just gobsmacked. It was wonderful, wonderful to see. So like I say, if that is the 95th one, I think I'm going to make sure that I'm available for the 100th and be down there. So that was something else. That was just something else. And I felt like a kid, an absolute kid, just watching all the beauty and the pageantry that they had there. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. All right, today I am going to talk about my experience with energy transmissions. Now, I kind of told you last week a little bit about what I'm up to, and that was transmitting energy to people. When I work with people, I do that anyways. That is part of the type of healer that I am. And for 3 years. I don't think it's 4, but I think 3 years. I have been doing a free service called Beaming Healing. And what it was once a week, people got together and we did intentional beaming of healing energies. I liken this kind of a thing to a prayer circle, or there's been a few other people who have done like the power of 8. I think that's Lynn McTaggart. I hope I got that name right, but the power of 8 definitely is the correct name. And she found that when people were together in a room and they were sending out specific healing instructions to the person who was in the middle of their circle, often it was someone who had cancer or something that was quite debilitating. And the people would sit around, 8 people would be around this person in the middle, and they would beam their intentions of this person being healthy, feeling vibrant, overcoming adversities, whatever it was. And they were making a huge impact, having a huge impact on the person in the middle. Well, like I say, I think it's Lynn McTaggart. One of the things she discovered was that the people who kept showing up to do the healing in that power of 8 circle, she was finding that they were getting just as much, if not more so, healing benefits because they were transmitting the healing benefits. So if they were doing it like I do it, where I receive downloads and it's channeled information, and then I beam that out of my heart. Some people do it out of their third eye. Some people just do it out of their presence. Whatever modality that or mode that they use, it's all good. The intention is that the energy is brought in not only to the person, but also in these people and out to the recipient, that healing takes place. And over the 3 years that I've been doing beaming healing, there's been a lot of wonderful breakthroughs for people. People have found jobs. People have been feeling better. One person won a lottery. I don't think it was the big jackpot, but it was a lot of money. And we were working on increasing our financial bottom line, kind of a thing. I know for my own self, if I bought a spread of tickets, it wasn't uncommon when I was doing that particular beaming for that month that I would win on all the tickets. Maybe 1 or 2 wouldn't, but if I bought, 8 or 10 or whatever is in the package that a person can get over here in Canada, you pay for a super PAC, for example. And before I was winning maybe, a few dollars here, a few dollars there on 1 or 2 of those 8 or 10 tickets. And then I was winning on every ticket. Now, it wasn't the big jackpot, son of a gun, but it was something. And it just showed the power of this. And then as I worked on relieving myself and everybody was working on relieving themselves of the blocks and so on, to having greater wealth, people were getting little bits of money where they hadn't been before. So I mean, that's one. And then another person, like I said, she found a job. Another person was having literally plumbing problems in their house. And we went to send our energy to the house. And within a very short time, the contractors who were dragging their feet and not getting the job done because, oh, it was too big and it was in the top floor, and below that was, they would have to rip out everything, and it just went on and on and on. All of a sudden solutions were found, and this man could have his life back. Him and his family and his kids and wife could have their life back with a functioning bathroom, for goodness sakes. So it can be used for anything, relationships, getting along with coworkers, your family, your spouse, your intended, whoever. I've seen a lot of wonderful progressions in that. It was amazing. So what I started to do was put together a series of topics that I would like to beam out to people, things that are going to help them. For example, things like I have in there health, of course, love, relationships, of course. There was self-confidence. There was purpose in life, finding your calling and your purpose in life. What else was there? I came up with 10 different subjects and then an 11th one. Because I co-create this with Spirit, what I found was that if I ask Spirit, guardian angels, whoever people work with, to do something for the people that is of their highest and best interest, whether they've asked to have this particular item healed or not, doesn't matter, but it was going to be something that was going to help them get to their next level easier. I found that when I sent that intention out first, and Source did that type of healing, and then I went in and did the specifics that the people wanted. Not that I do the healing. I never heal. That's just Source. That's just guardian angels. That's whoever else. But it does come through me, and I do direct it, and I do witness it. And that's part of the thing is when I witness and I share about it, people can feel and understand what is going on, and then they know what to look for when there's changes in their lives. Because one of the things we discovered was people were changing so quickly and adapting to their new reality so quickly that they forgot that they had the problems in the past. So I was making sure I was taking notes. And in fact, that's one of my healing modalities that I had a special going on where I was taking notes and people were forgetting what they were healing from. And then realize when they look back, and I would send them notes, my goodness, you're right. We did this, we did that. That was healed. That was healed. It's amazing. This energy transmission is a huge deal. Well, I come across this device. A friend of mine who I worked with on that last thing that I was just telling you about. And we worked for her on, I think it was finances. Yes, for her it was finances. And all of a sudden, she's in Scotland, and she was finding better deals for her property that she's selling or acquiring it. I forgive me, I don't recall the exact details, but I just know that things were turning around for her, and she was a happier camper. Well, she happened to get this Healy device, the device that I'm going to talk to you about right now. And she was grateful for my help. I did that for her for pro bono. Finances weren't her strong suit. And so I just got the guidance to help out this lady and not worry about the exchange, that the exchange would come later on. And sure enough, what did she do? She has offered me a month free of sending me these Healy frequencies to help my particular issue. My particular issue has been a problem with my hip and back. And I went from being extremely active and so on to having problems, and I had to quit work. I had to quit being a teacher because I couldn't stand the pain anymore. And although I could keep it at bay, I couldn't quite get over it. And that bugged me because as an energy healer, I want to heal. I want to be able to tell people, you know, this worked on me, and I would love to be able to be of service to have it work on you. Well, okay. She sends me this frequency on chronic pain. I've been on her daily dose that out 2 and sometimes 3 programs to me. So 3 specific frequencies, one at a time. Well, son of a gun, it's been now 2 weeks and I can move my hip like I couldn't before. It's been several years since I've been able to pick up my right leg and turn it so that I could use a scrubber and scrub the bottom of my feet while I was in the shower. I couldn't move that. I had to literally bend over, or in some cases, I couldn't even stand up in the shower. I was bringing in a chair into the tub so that I wouldn't fall down, or I could sit down and then scrub whatever I needed to scrub because it was too painful to move. And exercising it made the problem worse. So I was doing minimal exercises, which meant that I wasn't able to do all the wonderful weight bearing things that I needed to do. And. So here I am. I'm in the shower and I pick up my leg and I move my foot over and I'm scrubbing it. And I realize that I could do that. That was amazing. That was amazing. I was able to get myself before that to a point where I could pick up my foot. And whereas before, if this is the ground, I could lift it up this way, scrub under that, lift my heel up here, scrub under that. And that was all I could do. It was too painful to move my my legs and feet around. But to be able to literally just pick up my foot and scrub it like I could on the left side was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And so I tell the lady this, and she's gobsmacked too. She's had her own self-healing, and I noticed a difference in her from when I worked with her before. The energy that she was emitting was a lot lighter and brighter. Well, I come across another friend who is doing the Healy work, and she was offering a free aura scan. And I didn't know that it was connected to Healy. She didn't mention that in the thing. I'm going for an aura scan. I thought, well, what can we find out here? What can I learn about myself and work on that might help me in my own healing journey? Turns out it was a Healy scan that was done. I get the Healy scan to me, and I could clear stuff on there that the Healy scan said, you know, there's this, that, and the other problem going on in you. Now I'm finding that I'm a lot lighter and brighter. But the main thing that I want to share with you about her was she was a lady. I know her, nice enough lady and so on, family lady, salt of the earth kind of a person. but I never could connect with her like I do most other people. There's very few people that I don't connect easily with, but she was one of them. And I thought, that's odd. But I thought, so what? I'm going to check out the aura scan. I'll get to say hi to this lady. I haven't talked to her in a while. We are in a couple of same circles, and it's just a wave hi and bye over the internet, but that was about it. And here I'm getting this scan from her, and I'm realizing that I'm not having to put up this wall or this shield to stave off the negative energy. And I was, I think, more fascinated by that than this aura scan, which I was very excited to have done. And I asked her what was the greatest benefit that she has found. Now, she's been on the Healy for 6 months, and without sharing too many details, she went from being quite quite negative, quite down, quite everything that is dark and can be dark, to light, bright, genuinely happy, not just putting on a fake smile because she's on camera and saying hi. There was this genuine, lovely feeling that came from her that I didn't sense beforehand. It's, she, like I say, she's a nice lady, lots of friends in our circle and so on. But just me personally, I didn't have that same warm, fuzzy feeling. And that's okay. So what? I don't have to have the warm, fuzzy feeling for everybody. And that wasn't the issue. But what was that I noticed such a huge difference. So here's two women that I know that have been on this device for several months, and how well they are progressing in their life, in their healing journey. Things aren't getting them down so much anymore. The one in Scotland, she had a lighter, brighter feeling about her that now she's speaking up on her own Facebook channel and talking about the Healy and so on. And this other lady, that uh, she is just so vibrant and easy to be around, and kind and helpful. And she was offering me some wonderful information about the Healy device. So what I wanted to do was share with you um, the experiences that I've had, that these other two ladies have had. And when I looked it up on Facebook, there are Healy Facebook pages you can go to, and tons of testimonials of how wonderful these people are feeling as a result. I know the power of transmitting energies. Now, I like that I can do it myself, co-created, right? And I can have things change on a dime what a person is needing, or ask that it be changed, is what it really is. I ask that it be changed and be for the person's highest and brightest and best for them. But to have this extra machine as well, where people have been, it's a German product, people have been putting together certain frequencies and bombarding them out, and the healing that have been taking place is nothing short of wonderful. Like, so how lucky am I to have both the type of healing that I do, plus this healing machine. Now, right now, because of the Black Friday thing that's going on, and it has been, I guess, in different places for a while, but the Healy people have this super fantastic deal. Now, they have 4 different models of Healy, and I think the first model is $500. This is US dollars. The second model is $1,000. It might be 1,100. I don't know, but say 1,000. The third one is $1,500, and the fourth one is $4,000. Now, my understanding is that their newest offer, the way they offer it, is the first 3. You also need a subscription to continue to receive particular frequencies that are highly, highly beneficial. They didn't have that before, but it is part of their program now. And the fourth one, the $4,000 one, is all inclusive, and it's got some new bells and whistles that both ladies are extremely excited about and want to have those particular things in their lives. And so what the deal is that if you purchase it's called the resonance model, the $1,500 model, if you purchase that between now and Tuesday for $1,500 US, you can be upgraded to the $4,000 model. And like, to me, that what is that, 65% savings deals? So 1,500 to 4,000, you're saving what, $2,500, $3,000, something like that. It's amazing. It is amazing. Or maybe $3,500. Anyways, I have been posting a few things to do with that, and I want to show you that. I think I'm allowed to share my screen on Facebook. I've never done this before, so I don't know. So I'm hoping it'll come out and that you'll be able to see this. So what this is, I'll just make this a bit bigger so you can see it. Plus, there's the plus. All right, so here's the 2. I just did a picture of the 2 models. Like I said, there are 4: a 500, 1,000, a 1,500, and then the $4,000 model. So this one here, the $1,500 model, comes with almost 100 programs. There you go, $15, $1,515 is the price. It's called the resonance model. You go there and you will get upgraded then to the $4,000 model, which has 216 programs, 6 modules. So it was 3 modules here. The other one, I think, had 2 and 1, or 1 and 1, something like that. But this one, you need a monthly subscription, whereas when you get the professional model, everything is inclusive. Everything is inclusive. So to me, these particular things didn't really mean all that much. But when you're looking at 97 versus 216, I mean, you can see right away that there's going to be quite a big jump in what is available to you. The bioenergetic harmony 1 and 2 are on both. This one talks about the chakras, both, the gold cycle, both. And then you get into other things like job, beauty. Now, beauty, if I recall correctly, had to do with how the cells in your body were regenerating and getting stronger and more vibrant. And so therefore, when they reproduce, they are reproducing at a healthy state versus anything that's unhealthy. Skin, beautiful skin. So, you know, if you want to look younger, definitely this is the one that they were talking about. I don't know what the power of 3 is, but apparently it's a big deal. And one of the ladies, she's all excited about this one, the power of 3. Plus, there is a coach one. There you go. Health advisor, analyst, success coach. That apparently is like 400 and some, almost $500 just by itself if you want to buy that program to play on your other stuff, to play on your other systems of Healy. And there was another one. It might have been the digital nutrition, I believe. And so this program, this is the one I thought was very cool. So imagine you're eating your diet, you have whatever it is, and you know with the food supplements that people are taking now, because our food is no longer nutrient dense. It is deficient in so many ways, in so many areas. So what this guy does is it analyzes your body, and then it tells you you need more this, that, or the other thing. So, you know, more iron, more riboflavin, more whatever it is, because your body is deficient in it. And can you imagine having your food and you're eating it and you're doing the best that you can, and sometimes you're not, like, okay, so that happens too, right? But you're doing what you're doing, and then you get this little device and it says, you know, if you added this, that, and the other thing, it would be a benefit. The thing is, you don't have to go out and buy supplements for all of those things. Those things are being transmitted to you. And I don't know how that all works, but I understand how the transmission works. I don't know how they analyze that, but apparently it does. And then you get that nutrient energetically. Now, I have sent energetic nutrients to cats, dogs, rabbits, birds, people, people specific things like their gut, their biome, their skin biome, and liver detoxing, and so on and so on. And people do feel better. So I know that works. However, can you imagine not having to buy these supplements? You get them energetically. Everything is energy. Absolutely everything, from the smallest to the largest. Everything is energy. And so here you are, you've got all these wonderful extra programs that can help you with your body, all on the energetic level. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. And so with it going, you know, from 1,500 to 4,000, are you kidding me? That's a huge, huge upgrade, plus the different programs and the number of modules. When I was looking through everything that was included, now I think I still have that on my desktop. I hope so, that I could show you, because Healy, happy holidays. I thought that was right here. It was amazing how much was available. I don't see it right now. I know it's somewhere here. I have too much stuff on my desktop. But anyways, it's amazing how much was in there. I was thoroughly impressed, like seriously, thoroughly impressed. And to me, it's amazing. It's like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you get this? Why wouldn't you get this? So I don't know. Um, I'm just sharing. I'm just one person sharing my experiences and what I've seen, what I've personally noticed in others, how they have come about, how their energy has changed. As an empathic person, I feel those shifts. I feel those subtleties, and I was blown away. So my thing is I'll be looking at number crunching and seeing what I can do as well. But I have a link that I've been putting out there, and it's attached to me. It's attached to my name. I get credit if I bring people in. So there is, that company incentive, blah, blah, blah stuff. But the more important thing is that you can get some help that you might not have even realized was available there to you before. Will they have another sale? Probably. Like, companies have sales, for goodness sakes. I have sales, for goodness sakes, when I sell things too. So I can't see them not ever having a sale again. So yeah, I'm not doing the hurry up before they're all out kind of a pressure push. I don't like that kind of a selling. I can't do that. I won't do that. But I do know that their sale for this particular thing that's going on is happening now, and it's on till Tuesday. So, if you're interested, please look at my link that I've shared, and, look on my Facebook page. If you take a look at any of my posts, just click on my name. It'll take you to my Facebook page and scroll in there and you'll see it. It's all there. And yeah, I hope that this was of benefit to you. I know what it's done for me in just 2 weeks' time. I've seen what it's done for others in a matter of a few months, how much these people have changed. And then when I go and read the testimonials, I mean, usually you write wonderful testimonials, whether it's uh, or really good, right? You also write the negative ones too, but because I am who I am and I can sense the truth or the dishonesty in a post, even, because that energy is in that, whether it's been typed or handwritten or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can sense that. You can sense the genuine of it. And I was sensing a lot of genuine um genuine um things happening for people, that they were coming out of pain, that they were getting more sleep, that they were not anxious anymore, that they were having better relationships within themselves and within their family and friends. I mean, that is just an amazing thing to me. So I for me, I'm hoping to get it sooner rather than later, so I don't have to put off my healing journey further down the road with the use of this product. I will always continue to do my own healing. And to me, because it is so variable, I can adjust it, literally the snap of a finger. Somebody says, this is what's happening to me, and I talk to source, or I talk to the angels, or I talk whoever it is that is there, that I'm working with at that time for that particular person. We can adjust on the fly. That's not a problem. Whereas the Healy, it's a stable frequency. That's what you get. It's like you turn to the dial on your radio, you get the country station, you turn the dial a little further and you get the rock and roll station, and you turn it a little bit further and you get, CBS or something like that, whatever it is. with the news and the sports and all of that kind of a stuff. So, you know, those frequencies are out there, right? But those are finite frequencies. But if they're getting these kind of results from these kinds of um, uh, sending out of the frequencies, like, to me, it just made sense. It just made sense to be able to do that. So that's my goal. So I'm working on an abundance thing and bringing in more clients so that I could afford this unit as well. So I thank you for your time. I hope that this was of benefit to you. My sole purpose is to be of benefit to you, to be of support and to share. That is my lot in life, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. That brings me joy to no end, to be able to be of service and provide for you all, and to provide for myself, my family as well. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Feel free to email me a question, DM me on Facebook, or chat that way too. Let me know what questions you have. I was sent some videos that I could share with you, and some PDFs that might be of benefit to you too. You can see what's there. And if you follow my link, it'll take you, you can get all that information on the internet before you choose to purchase. You know, be informed, right? And feel it in your own gut. Is this right for me? Will I benefit from it? Are there specific blocks that could be removed so I could make a clear, informed decision? You know, so get those things out of the way rather than, you know, being stuck in the wheel of uh, feast, famine, debt, and lack, and so on. You know, get those cleared out of your mind so that you can make an informed decision and see, is this right for you? And if it's not, don't get it, for goodness sakes. You know, don't put yourself in a financial bind. But, you know, here's your chance. You get this unit at home, and it doesn't only send out over the waves, like the radio waves kind of a thing, right? The Healy also has these little things you can attach and put it on your skin, where I don't know, because I haven't seen that done. And you feel those electrical impulses, you know, firsthand. Some of you might know of this product called Dr. Ho. I love that Dr. Ho thing. And so there are little electrodes that come out with these little squishy pads, and you put them on your muscle, and your muscle jumps around and exercises that muscle, and it helps relieve pain and so on. I use those. So I can't imagine it being too much different from a Dr. Ho unit when you're using it specifically on your body. And can you imagine having, you know, pain in your leg, and you put this frequency on it, and you're getting the muscle stimulated firsthand from the device, like the Dr. Ho would do. This is what I'm assuming. So I hope I'm right. I can't imagine it being any other way, because I've looked at other units and that's what they do. So Healy is not the only unit that's out there that does this, but Healy is the one that I'm familiar with and have seen good progress with. And the others I've heard of, people have, friends are on them and so on, and they're getting good benefits as well. The technology is there. our receptivity is there. That's not an issue at all. We are both transmitters and receivers. Human bodies are transmitters and receivers of energy. You know, you walk into a room, you can tell that someone's either had a fight or there's been fun in the activity in that area, and you feel that. You feel that excitement, or you feel that tense environment. We are receptive to all of this, and I know that this can work. Can you imagine it being targeted to what you need specifically? So if you're not a sleeper and you need sleep, and God knows we all need a good amount of sleep, with all the stresses that are going on in life right now, are you kidding me? The frequencies that are coming in from the sun, the negative impact that COVID has had on the world, you know, the impact from even from the full moon lately has been that much more intensified, and people are really reacting to it in a way that they've never reacted to before. Or open conversations of, yeah, I'm really feeling the effects of the full moon today. I'd never heard of that before, but I do now, because there is this intensification of these energies. We need a break. We need to get out of that flight or fright and fight feelings. Our bodies need to calm down. That's why I do what I do, is to help people, you know, de-escalate the feelings that are going on in their mind, in their emotions, in their physical body, which is tensing up to the point where everything hurts now because of the stress and the stressors. That's part of the reason why I ended up with the pains that I was in. And it happened so gradual, I didn't realize it. It just became my new normal. And I liken myself to that experiment they do. You've probably heard this. You put a frog in a pot of water, and the frog will stay in there because nice puddle of water there. You put a frog into a boiling pot of water, he will jump out. It hurts. But that frog that's in that regular pot of water, you turn up the heat ever so slightly, ever so slowly, he just adjusts. He just adjusts more and more. Might feel a little discomfort, but well, so what? You know, I'm happy in my little puddle of water there. And before you know it, he's literally been boiled to death, because he just kept adjusting to the new norm. We have been adjusting to the new norm of all these terrible feelings. And God knows we need to de-escalate. We need to release these. We need to get these out of our bodies so that we can think straight and feel good and be able to do things that we used to be able to do easily as a child, and now as an adult it's so much more difficult because it's so much more taxing on our bodies. And even the kids nowadays, when I left teaching, the amount of stress in my children, my students, it was unheard of. There was no more innocence anymore. The kids are bombarded by, you know, not only all the frequencies from the televisions and the cell phones and the Game Boys and whatever else is out there now. I mean, that's all absorbed into their tender little bodies. Up to the age of 7, kids are sponges. They just soak everything in. The good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, they soak it all in. There's so much more around them now. Can you imagine? They're getting saturated at a much earlier age. And then they carry that into adulthood. And you wonder why people are sick. You wonder why people are overweight. You wonder why they have these myriad of ailments and allergies. It's never heard of. When I was a teacher, one of the things I made sure when I had Halloween treats to give out, that it had peanuts. Why? Because it had protein. And the kids that I was working with, mostly inner city schools at that time, they weren't getting fed properly. So at least in the treats that I was providing, I made sure that they had peanuts. And then I also had the fruits and the vegetables along with it. But my goodness, I make sure that the stuff that I was buying for Halloween now would meet the standards of no peanuts in the manufacturing or close to manufacturing of the products. I hang out that teal colored pumpkin to show that this house does not serve items that contain peanuts, so that parents can know, oh my goodness, okay, I can send my child up to this house door and they will get something that is not that is peanut friendly or whatever you want. I don't know how to say it, but anyways, you get the idea. So it's amazing to me how much these poor kids are enduring now, and it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see these children suffering and growing into adults who are angry and upset and disturbed. And these kids are in their 20s and their 30s, and they're mad at everything and moody as heck. And that's no life. Can you imagine when they're 50, 60, 70? What are they going to be like then? I don't think they're going to even make that high of an age anymore, because the stress and the tax on their bodies has been overwhelming for so long. It's crazy. So we need things like this. People need to get the right energies for their bodies. They need to release the stuff that's in there. The thing is, the stupid thing is if you don't know to do this, you're going to keep it for your life. It's only if you're being exposed to people like me who share, you don't have to hold on to that. And you don't have to go to a healer like me. You can go and talk to your friends. You can go and talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or join support groups, anything like that. But if you're not doing anything like that, you're holding it all in. Everything from childhood on up, plus whatever you had in your past lives and previous lives. And don't get me started on that. But it's amazing. We need to let go and release this stuff out of our bodies. It's toxic. It is absolutely toxic. And the more I learn about the various things that are out there, the more I'm realizing that there's some really good things out there. The Healy being one of them, energy healing devices being one of them, and there's some stuff you gotta watch out. I've been hearing about, the negative effects of 5G. I'm not poo-pooing. Don't tell me about that. I'm just saying that there are positive and negative frequencies that are bombarded out. You would never stand, for example, in front of your microwave, or you do, but you've been told, step back. Don't be in front of the microwaves. Why? The EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies, are getting at you. It's cooking your food. What's it going to do to your live cells? Right? So there's a lot that is out there, and we need to clear it out of our system. We have to know to clear it out of our system. I know that was a bit of a rant, and I do apologize, but I care. I care about people, and I want the best for them. Plain and simple. So anyways, do your research, do your homework, clear your biases, clear your what's that called when biases is good enough. And do some due diligence about, is this a good thing for you? And if it's not, what is a good thing for you? Is a group therapy a good thing for you? Is joining a group a good thing for you? Is taking more salt baths a good thing for you? Do something to relieve yourself of this stuff so that you can live that happy, healthy life that you want and can. You just gotta let go of some of the stuff that's in you. All right. Love you all. Take care. Monica Dina Huppert's here of Whole Heart Energy Healing, wishing you the very, very best. And may God bless. Take care, all. Bye-bye. And thanks, Mel, for being here. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. It sure was nice to have someone commenting. It's so appreciated. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.